What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Comics for Cheap. I know it's been a minute, but I am back, and we are going to discuss today, are movie theaters in threat of collapse? Let's find out. That's right, everybody. Today, I am going to be posing the question, are movie theaters on the brink of collapse? But before we go any further, hit that like button, subscribe, all that usual nonsense. My hard drive crashed recently, which is why I haven't been creating videos in the last couple of weeks. But we are reaching almost 1,000 subscribers, and I'm going to be doing a giveaway, a big giveaway. I haven't decided what it's going to be yet or anything like that, but it's coming at 1,000 subs, so please like, subscribe, share, all that usual nonsense. But let's go ahead and discuss this today. I recently put up a poll on Instagram, and I'm going to use that and integrate it into my discussion. But I want this to be a discussion. I want you guys to be able to comment your opinion, what you think about what I'm talking about here today, and kind of feed the conversation, because I'm interested to know what your opinion is and what you think about this topic in particular. And that is, are theaters going to survive? Are movie theaters going to survive, or are they going to become the next Blockbuster? Are they going to become the next drive-in theater almost? Right? So I said recently, here's a question, and please be honest. When Shang-Chi releases, will you go to see it in theaters, or wait the 45 days and watch it on Disney Plus at no additional cost? And the outcome was that 55% said they were going to go to see it in the theaters, and 45%, which is a whopping and astounding number, said they're just going to wait and see it at home. Now, 55%, so it's still leaning towards, right, everybody going to the theaters, but it's not like 90% are going to go to the theater and 10% are going to stay home, right? So that's a definite huge box office smack, right? So that's going to be affecting ticket sales. That's going to be affecting how much money this movie is going to be grossing. There's also the question of, if it was a different movie besides Shang-Chi, or a different movie besides a Marvel movie, would people have answered differently? And I'll kind of get into that with some of the responses, because after I posted that poll, I did post another question basically saying, Explain your reasoning of your choice. So I'm going to go through a couple of those. They are on IG, so please don't berate them or anything for their answers. I kind of left out any of the, or most of the controversial ones, anything that had to do with COVID, anyone saying that they were just going to pirate the movie anyway. I just kind of left all those out because, I mean, we can get into that in a second, but it didn't have much to do with the question at hand, right? So we have Ripstick Comics here saying, I prefer the theater for pretty much any big action/blockbuster film. Strange Tales to Collect says, fun family experience. Kids love it. Fun having a family date day. Movie theater popcorn is bomb. I got to tell you, I worked at a movie theater when I was like 16, 17 years old, and if you knew what I knew, movie theater popcorn is disgusting, but ignorance is bliss, so I'm going to let you have it, all right? Bags and Borbs says, there's no comparison for seeing a movie like that in theater. So that's another one of those ones where I'm like, oh, so it's that particular movie is what's motivating you to get out of the house and go see it in a theater. So maybe if it was a different movie, we would have a different response. I don't know. Comic Fanatic 86 says, we've all been craving MCU entries. Big action movies are better on the big screen. P. Sang says, nothing beats the theater for big event films. Lucky Lefty Mando saying, I just prefer going to the movies, not the same experience at home. Okay. Bent Matthews says, because of the experience, going to a theater increases the odds of me enjoying the movie. I thought this was a very interesting response. So it increases the odds of you enjoying a movie like any movie, or just that particular movie. I mean, I have to admit, there is more of an electrifying like feeling in the air when you go to see a movie, right? I mean, in theater, opening night, packed house, 300 people sitting in there reacting to everything that's going on the screen, laughing at the jokes, or gasping at something that happens. So there is definitely a different experience, but for me personally, like, there's also the experience of you have to go at a certain time. Depending on where you live, you might be paying for parking or having trouble finding a parking spot or something like that. You got to get all, whatever, dressed up, fancy. You got to go in. If you're bringing extra snacks, you got to sneak them in, or that whole rigmarole of, theater employees don't give a shit, but that whole like thing where you got to sneak them in the purse or your pocket, whatever. You're right. And then you got there's an off chance that people are just going to be rude. People are rude, man. So it's like, cell phones going off, kids talking, people chatting, laughing when they're not supposed to be, blah, 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 and kicking your seat. So you're trying to enjoy this movie and you're getting this motion the whole time. Now, that for me is just all cut out when you get to watch it at home. But continuing on, we have movies. Very Cold Soup saying movies are usually more fun in a theater. You get more of an immersive experience, in my opinion. And ME Comics says, my family, just love going to the movies, but I'll definitely be streaming it too. Okay. Yeah, I mean, so that was all I pulled for the pro movie theater argument. But for me, there's so many streaming services, right? There's so many different streaming services and options that are just bringing movies directly to you in your home. So for me, in my personal opinion, why would I leave my couch when I can pause the movie, go to the bathroom, make a snack, come back, drink a beer, have, whatever I want to have, to go and be in public, COVID notwithstanding, right? Forget COVID, forget a pandemic happening and everything like that. This is just my opinion in general. I would actually rather watch it at home, no matter what. I don't like going in public. I don't like crowds. I don't like rude people ruining my movie experience. If I waited all this time for a movie to come out and I go and I have to sit next to some obnoxious, stupid 17-year-old bitch who's fucking taking out her phone and taking selfies with it the whole time, I'm going to lose my shit. And I'm probably going to go to jail that day. I'm just saying. It's just, I'm going to fucking break her phone because it's obnoxious. And when you're home, you don't have to worry about any of that, which is why it's just so great. I really, this is like one of the best things that has come out. So like, for example, when Suicide Squad came out, I just watched it day of or night of or whatever it was on my bed while eating some snacks. And it was I didn't have to go anywhere. It was perfect. It was whatever time I wanted to do it. For Black Widow, same thing. I paid the $30 to watch it on my couch, and we had dinner and drinks while watching it. It was amazing. Not the movie. The movie wasn't amazing, but it was an amazing experience. And to think about it, you're paying the $30 for the premium stream, and I mean, that's pretty much the cost of two people going to the movies anyway. So me and Alexis sitting at home paying the $30 to watch it, that's the same as us driving to a spot and paying $15 a ticket to go watch it in theaters. So for me, it was just a no-brainer. Let's go over some of the pro staying at home responses, and then we can circle back to that point though. Fanning Scott says it's cheaper to stay at home and watch it than bring 3 kids with me to a theater. So there you go. So now you're probably paying $10 a kid plus your own ticket, and already you're over the $30 that it would have been to stay home, or the $15 a month to do the streaming service itself. And I mean, that's just for the one movie, plus you have all the rest of the content that the streaming service provides, right? So it's not just that one movie that's in play. Lilo D says don't have to pay for overpriced snacks and drinks. Exactly. You can just whip something up in the kitchen. Lust for Knowledge says I'm not a big fan of theaters, would rather be comfortable at home. I feel that so much. Hauser says why pay again when I've already paid for Disney Plus? There you go. So now instead of paying, or you're already paying the $10 to $15 a month for Disney Plus, or whichever streaming service, this happened to be for Shang-Chi, but whichever streaming service that you're a partner with for the movie that you want to see. So why would you spend another $15 to go see it when you can just see it at home? Bin City Books says theaters near me cost like $15 a ticket. It's exactly what I was just saying. All right. So then Red Hood Robin saying 3 kids. It's just easier. Amen. You got to pile them in the car. make it to the theater on time. They probably want snacks and drinks, so you got to pay for all that. And then, they're going to get hopped up on sugar. You got to make sure they're quiet, make sure they're behaving themselves, blah, 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 blah. While at home, you just turn it on, have them sit down on the couch, give them a milk dud or something like that, so to get the caramel to glue their mouth shut, and have them watch the movie. You know what I mean? Here's a 3 for you. K Klont saying, I will stay home because I'm lazy and like to wear my PJs all day when I can. Amen. RSC Collecting says, too lazy to go out and it's not important enough for me to see immediately. So that's one of those ones where I'm like, maybe if it's a different movie, is it the movie that's motivating you to get out, or would you stay at home regardless of what movie it is? The Book Panda says, just not that crazy into it enough to put out money for it. Again, same kind of thing. So what if it wasn't Shang-Chi? What if it was a rom-com or a comedy or like a different action movie or something like that, or a horror movie? Maybe the responses would be a little bit different. Like they would all want to go, or maybe they would all want to stay home. Maybe it just depends. And maybe that's going to be what affects what movie studios are going to start kind of producing. Are they going to take chances on new and original ideas, or are they just going to play into the bullshit of franchise films like Fast and the Furious fucking number 9, even though we didn't really need the last 7 or 8 of them? You know what I mean? So are we just gonna get the same procured bullshit because they're scared to take a risk and they know what's gonna sell tickets, or are we going to get more original artsy movies? Because I mean, it can't all just be explosions and action, right? There are some movies out there that are classics and amazing and like thrillers that are slower that maybe we're gonna start missing out on because studios aren't gonna want to take that chance. Here we have Comic Book Exchange saying, eat, drink, and watch it in my undies. No idiots talking, no phones ringing, thank you, free beer. Free beer? Bro, we're all going to Comic Book Exchange's house because he's got free beer. And then lastly, we have Dark Raven Comics saying, I can pause and I'm allowed to eat spaghetti, which is apparently very important. The deciding factor is the fact that you can eat biscotti. But now I want to open it up to like a discussion, like I was saying in the comments, because I will be responding for sure. Is that one? One, let's just say the same kind of question. Are you going to go see Shang-Chi in the theaters, or are you going to wait the 45 days and watch it for free? 2, if it was a different movie that we're talking about, and again, forget COVID, forget piracy. I don't want to hear any. I'm just going to watch it on whatever website anyways for free. I don't care. Okay, you're not part of this discussion. Obviously, this question isn't directed to you because you're just going to do that regardless of anything that happens, right? So, 2, if it was a different movie, what movie would motivate you to actually go out and see it in the theaters, right? So, if it's not this movie, or if it's not Marvel movies in general, which movie or what type of movie would motivate you to do that? 3, do you think that theaters are in trouble? Do you think they're on the brink of collapse? Do you think it's going to be something that we tell, maybe like a future generation or our grandkids, like, oh, we used to go see things in a movie theater, or just like kind of our parents or grandparents tell us about the drive-in movies, that same kind of thing, or we're going to tell kids about Blockbuster when they have Netflix now. So is it going to be a generational experience and or gap that's gonna disappear? And yeah, I mean, just any other comments or questions that you might have, please let them be known in the comments down below, because I really am interested. This is one of those things where I'm just like sitting here watching everything that's happening. I'm watching box office sales collapse with streaming services putting out movies directly to directly into your house. They're literally taking the content and putting it directly into your house, whether it's with a premium. Do you think premiums are going to go up? Because like we were just saying, it's $15 a ticket to see it at the theaters, but it's also like $15 a person, probably, unless you're living alone. Nothing wrong with that, but maybe you have some buddies over. Maybe you got like 3-4 people over, or you got your wife and kids, or your husband and kids, or whatever it is, and you just $30, that's a lot cheaper alternative than going to the movie theater. You know what I mean? So I think that theaters in like big cities will probably last. They're going to be very selective about the movies that they play, I think, in their advertising campaigns and how they're going to bring people in. But I think that on outskirts of cities and in towns that are a little bit smaller, I think they're going to become a thing of the past. I just don't see them being able to be sustained without government funding or without, whatever, GoFundMe or, community rising up to save the movie theater. I think that people are just going to be like, but why? When we can just watch it at home, and why would I, participate in a fundraiser to save a theater when we could just watch this at home? But that's just me and my opinion. That's why I want to open it up to you guys. I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. So please do me a favor, like, comment, share, all that usual nonsense. And as always, stay villainous.